Hi, let us discuss forming an opinion on auditor's financial statements. We will discuss today auditor's report. Let us move into the content of auditor financial statement. What are the content of auditor financial statement? Auditor's report should have a title, address, opinion, basis for opinion, responsibility of management and those charges with governance, responsibility for audit of financial statement, signature of the auditor. Title. Auditor's report should have a title called Independent Auditor's Report. Why? To differentiate the statutory audit report from other audit report. So the title is useful. Addressee normally is based on the circumstances. It may be members or it may be those charges with governance. For example, in case of companies, it is addressed to the shareholders of the financial statement. Third, the auditor's opinion. Before it was an introductory paragraph. Now it is auditor's opinion paragraph. The first section of auditor's report starts with auditor's opinion. What are the reference to the auditor's opinion paragraph? Opinion section of auditor's report shall include the following. Reference to the following matters. Identify the entities whose name has to be mentioned. For an example, if it is an audit of Reliance, mention that we are conducting the audit of Reliance and state that what are going to audit. Financial statement have been audited. We are auditing the financial statement that has to be mentioned in component wise. Balance sheet, profit and loss account, cash flows and related notes on the basis of which auditor is expressing an opinion. These are the content of opinion paragraph. Also the periods 1st March, 1st April to 31st March. So these are the reference to the auditor's opinion paragraph. How auditor is expressing an opinion. For that purpose, we are classifying the financial framework as fair presentation framework and compliance framework. How auditor's opinion is based on the fair presentation framework. See, these are the wording. There are two options. Option number 1, in our opinion, the accompanying financial statement present fairly in all material aspects in accordance with applicable FRF. First opinion is present fairly. Second opinion, in our opinion, accompanying financial statements gives true and fair view. First, fairly present. Second, true and fair view in accordance with applicable FRF. Let us move into unmodified opinion. Modified opinion will cover SA 705. We will discuss in details there. The accompanying financial statements are prepared in all material aspects in accordance with applicable FRF. There is no mentions about the fairly presentation or true and fair view. Instead, the opinion is expressed. The financial statements are in accordance with applicable FRF. If the applicable FRF compliance framework not in accordance with Indian accounting standard, then auditor's opinion, before expressing that, he has to identify the framework. Which are the framework? For example, financial statements can be prepared based on US GAAP or Singapore GAAP. He has to express an opinion based on the concerned rules, concerned standards. Let us move into the basis of opinion. This is another paragraph immediately after following the opinion paragraph. State that here auditor will state that, he will mention that audit is conducted in accordance with SA, standard of auditing. Wherever the standards of auditing is applicable for financial statement, will mention those names. Then third will be auditor's independent requirement and ethical requirement as issued by ethical standard. A mention about auditor's independent requirement and compliance with ethical standards issued by ICAI. These are the three references. Audit is conducted in accordance with SA. Auditors are independent to the entity. Auditors has complied with the ethical requirement of the as issued by ICAI. An auditor has to mention about the sufficiency and appropriateness of audit evidence. On that basis, auditor express an opinion. Wherever applicable, if it is applicable, he has to mention the audit report in accordance with SA 570, going concern, where the assumption become doubt, significant uncertainty. This is the new development, key audit matters for a listed company. If it is applicable, auditor has to mention those in his auditor's report. Let us move into the responsibility of management. What are the responsibility of management? 1. Preparation of financial statement in accordance with applicable financial reporting framework. Such controls as the management determine necessary to enable preparation of financial statements that are free from misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. Management is responsible for financial statement. Management is responsible for internal control. Management is responsible for assessing the appropriateness of going concern assumptions. The preparation of financial statements gives true and fair view in accordance with applicable framework. Then let us move into auditor's responsibility section. This sections what will contain. Auditor's objective is what? To obtain reasonable assurance about the financial statement as a whole, not absolute assurance. Obtain a reasonable assurance about financial statement as a whole, free from material misstatement, which may be happen due to two reasons misstatement. One is fraud or another is error. Issue an independent auditor's report that includes auditor's opinion. He will express his opinion. We already seen two kind of opinions. State that reasonable assurance is high level of assurance, but it is not a guarantee that audit conducted in accordance with SA will always detect material misstatements when exist. The auditor's report that reasonable high degree of assurance is not a guarantee. Is not a guarantee. The misstatement reasons describe that they are conducted materially or individually or in aggregate. They could reasonably be expected to influence the economic decisions of users taken on the basis of financial statement. This already we have discussed materiality concept, how it influences. A misstatement which influence the economic decisions of the users based on the decision they taken on financial statement. SA 320 it is discussed. Then what are the place where auditor's responsibility can be made? It can be within the body of auditor's report or in the appendix or in the reference as a website. Other responsibilities. Sometimes the laws and regulations mention the auditor to conduct the audit. They are giving additional responsibility. In such case, audit report in addition to auditor's responsibility under SA. These other responsibilities shall be addressed. A separate heading. Reports on other legal and regulatory requirement. If there is an auditor's other responsibility statement, the laws and regulations require the auditor to fulfill certain other additional responsibility in addition to those mentioned in essay, then he has to address those responsibility through a separate paragraph. If laws and regulations requirement and standard of auditing requirements responsibilities are one and same, then he has to mention in the single place. Otherwise, he has to show a separate statement, separate place, signature of the auditor. The report is signed by the engagement partner in his personal name. He has to mention the name, individual name, and if the firm is appointed as auditor, the report is signed in personal name of auditor and the name of the firm. If a partnership firm, then they are required to mention the individual name and the firm name. The proprietor or partner signing the audit report also need to mention the membership number as assigned by ICAI. Wherever applicable, if it is applicable, the registration number of the firm has to be given. Place of signature, auditor's report shall name specific location, which location audit report is signed, the city. Date of auditor's report, it cannot be earlier than the date on which all component of financial statement have been audited. It cannot be before. After that, all component of financial statement after preparing, management or those charges with governance have asserted that they have taken responsibility for financial statement. Then the last area, supplementary information presented with financial statement. If supplementary information is an integral part of financial statement, we are making an analysis based on the supplementary information as a part of financial statement or as an appendix or an addition to the financial statement. If supplementary information shall be covered by auditor's opinion, it will be already covered if it is a part of financial statement. If not integral part of financial statement, auditor shall evaluate whether it is clearly differentiated from the audited financial statement. Additional information that has to be clearly demarcated from the financial statement. If not, then he shall ask the management change the way it is presented to avoid the misinterpretation. If the management refuses to do so, the auditor shall mention the audit report that such supplementary information has not been audited is management additional information. So this is our small discussions about audit report. Thank you for watching the video and have a nice day.